So I'm in the middle of my morning run, and it's a perfect time to think about the lessons of James Joyce. Now, James Joyce is arguably one of the greatest, or perhaps the greatest writers in the 20th century. And the lesson of James Joyce is that even if you come up with a masterpiece, it can take time to get it published, because the Dubliners, his collection of superb short stories, took so many years to be published. So even if you produce a work of genius, the publishers can take time to get it published. So that's one hopeful lesson for would-be writers. And the second lesson of James Joyce is that you can write cryptic, enigmatic prose, but if you have produced something that is accessible, something that people can recognize as a masterpiece, then even if you go on to write things like the Ulysses or the Finnegan's Wake, people would take you seriously, because even if people don't understand it, and it can be really puzzling to read. If you have the Dubliners or the portrait of the artist as a young man, you would be considered to be prevalent, significant, because if you are somebody who has written the Dubliners or the young artist, you, even if you write on the surface nonsensical things, probably people would think that you have actually something to say. So that is a James Joyce effect, if you like. And the third lesson is that you should write something that people haven't read but always pretend to have read. In my case, I should confess that I do have the Finnegan's Wake and Ulysses. I have a few copies of them each, but I haven't. I should confess that I haven't read it. So I am one of these millions of people who pretend to have read James Joyce. So if you can do that, that is the greatest. Probably that will be the greatest literary achievement. So in my opinion, the greatest literary achievement is to produce something that people would pretend to have read when they have actually not read these works. And by the way, James Joyce didn't win the Nobel Prize for Literature. Well, so that shows, something. Okay, so with that thought, I keep my morning run.